It looks very likely that your next trip to Thailand just got a bit more expensive. 17's arrested in Bangkok after attacking a Japanese tourist. And some other Chinese tourists get arrested in Pattaya after trying to pull a Grand Theft Auto move and say, you know what, I'm not stopping for police. That and more in today's video, so make sure you stick around. Hello, you handsome devils, and good morning from Bangkok. Over this past week, things have slowed down a little bit. It's honestly kind of been a nice break. We had a lot to cover, especially towards the end of last month, but that's not to say there aren't some important stories going on in Thailand right now. If you're already here or you're planning a trip soon, there are some things that we talk about today that are going to apply to you. Let's get into it. As always, if you enjoy the video, feel free to drop a subscribe, but you don't have to do it right now. Wait till the end, make your decision. And of course, if you have any stories or anything you would like to see us cover on the channel, do a bit more of a deep dive into, or just keep up with day-to-day updates, feel free to drop it down in the comments or to shoot us a DM over on Instagram. Let's get into our first story. Chinese tourists clash with police in Pattaya after near miss at a crosswalk, and they try to flee and crash into an official vehicle. Chinese tourists riding a motorbike without helmets nearly struck pedestrians at a crosswalk in front of the Pattaya City Police Station on Tuesday evening before arguing with officers and then crashing into a parked government vehicle while attempting to flee. On August 11th, officers spotted two Chinese tourists riding a motorcycle bearing a Chonburi plate. Neither rider was wearing a helmet. The pair rode through the crosswalk area as pedestrians were crossing, nearly causing an accident. Police stopped the motorcycle for inspection, requested the driver's license, and issued a warning to exercise caution. During the check, the tourists became agitated and argued with the officers. One then attempted to ride away from the scene. In the process, the motorcycle clipped a parked official vehicle, damaging both the bike and the government car. Bystanders filmed the entire sequence from the initial stop through the attempted escape and the collision. Oh man, there's layers to this. There's layers to the what were you thinking? First of all, it's especially in Pattaya, a lot of the time your police interactions are going to be at checkpoints, and in Pattaya they kind of tend to be in the same areas. Right here where they're talking about, right in the middle of Beach Road, they are always there. The crosswalks, particularly on Beach Road, if you're visiting Pattaya for the first time, it's not like America. Don't take any crosswalk as a guarantee of some safety. I would love to see trying to get away and then immediately running into a vehicle, and not only just a vehicle, a police vehicle at that. I tried to dig around to see more what came of this. They were detained. We didn't really get any information as to what happened from that. I'm guessing they probably got a pretty serious fine. There are some photos of the bike that was hit. Doesn't look like too much damage. I've been seeing this more and more. You probably have too if you're on the internet, people running from checkpoints. Well, I follow a police officer up in the north of Thailand on Facebook. His whole thing is posting videos of people that he chases, and man, can these officers ride. You're probably not going to get away. They're better riders than you. They know the streets. So I hope I don't have to tell you, don't run from the cops, man. Now, cruising along to our next story. If you've been here for a minute, you'll know we covered some stories over the past month that got a lot of discourse flowing around on the internet. We got a lot of comments talking about, especially the assaults and stuff that took place. A lot of people talking about the fact, trying to create the fact that Thailand was no longer safe to travel to. I've already contested that. We're not going to get into it again. But in regards to this next story, it does kind of play off of that. And I do think there is something very important to understand here. 17's detained over attack on Japanese tourist in Bangkok. Police detained 7 teenagers aged 13 to 17 in Ding Dang district on Bangkok yesterday, August 13th, in connection with the attack on a Japanese tourist near the Makasan Airport rail link. The attack occurred near the rail link where the Japanese tourist, identified as 43-year-old Yuki, said a group of teenagers initially spoke to him in Thai before demanding money in English. The group allegedly prevented him from leaving and attacked him, injuring his mouth before leaving with his credit card. Investigators from Makasan and Dindang police stations detained all 7 teenagers at an accommodation in Dindang. at around 7:20 p.m. During the preliminary questioning, all 7 reportedly gave similar accounts of the incident. They claimed they only used their fists during the attack and did not use any weapons. Some of the teenagers allegedly had knives with them, but at the time claimed they did not take the weapons out or use them during the incident. The group told police they obtained 1,400 baht and divided the money equally, with each receiving 200 baht. For reference, 200 baht is about $6. And I don't really know how it works in Thailand, but in America, if you have a weapon on you after you get stopped robbing somebody, it's going to be armed robbery. That's a big deal. I am torn here, to say the least. I do feel a responsibility when I do give my opinions here to try to set you on the best path for success. But of course, I'm a human too. I respond to certain things in a certain way, and somebody trying to strong arm me and take my stuff is one thing that I'm probably not going to respond very well to. There's part of me that says, no, don't let some person roll up to you and demand money. And then, the more grown, the adult side of Tempus does acknowledge the fact that money can be replaced. If you get hurt, of course, that's going to be a much bigger deal. It's going to probably be more expensive for you. So I'm very torn with this. I want to hear from you. If something like this happened to you, what do you think the best course of action would be? Should you defend yourself and tell these little teenagers to kick rocks? Or should you just give them the money and let them go on their way? I'm also torn because, yes, if you give them money and they go on their way, then you're safe, kind of, I guess. But also you're reinforcing this behavior. They'll go and tell themselves, we could just keep doing this to people. We can continue to target tourists. And then, on the other side of that, of course, you never know how far somebody is willing to go for X amount of money. So we said it multiple times on this channel. Thailand statistically is one of the safest places you can travel to in all of Southeast Asia, especially if you compare it to America, especially certain cities. You're probably not going to have any problems. But that's not to say there aren't dirtbags. It's massively unlikely that if you come to Thailand, anything like this would ever happen to you. But like we always say, don't be naive. Don't say Thailand is safe, so I can go down these super dark alleys at 4 a.m. and not know where I'm at, and give people a chance to take advantage of me. It's a fine line. Trust people, but also don't put yourself in a position to get got, of course. Now, in reading these stories and making these videos, I do my best to find the story and then go around and see what people are saying about it, right? Because there's a lot of times I read something and I respond to it a certain way, and then I go and read the public discourse, and nobody really feels the same way as I do. And in regards to this next story, I read it and I said, no big deal. That seems pretty status normal for me. But on the other side of that, there are a whole lot of people that are very upset about this and had a lot of really bad things to say about it. Thai government proposes fee on foreign visitors alongside domestic travel subsidy. Thailand's Ministry of Tourism and Sports has proposed a new Thailand tourist fee on foreign visitors, with the proceeds funding attraction development, visitor safety, and environmental restoration. Tourism and Sports Minister Surasak Panchauren Warakul, wow, that was a tough one. I feel like I did pretty well though, presented the proposal on August 10th alongside a separate domestic travel subsidy scheme worth $53 million. The fee would be channeled into a new Thailand Tourism Promotion Fund. Sarasak said the fund would develop existing and purpose-built attractions, finance visitor insurance and safety measures, and restore environments affected by tourism. So as I said, there are a lot of people who don't think this is a necessarily good idea. A lot of the things that I saw is people just pretty much referencing that Thailand's tourism numbers are already teetering a bit. There will be people, it's low season. Yeah, but they compare low season to last low season. And on average right now, tourism has at least plateaued. It's not necessarily nosediving by any means. And there has been a lot more looks into what tourism income is actually at, as opposed to just number of tourists coming to the country. So a lot of people have made the point that, hey, numbers are already down, and now you're proposing just a flat fee that's probably not going to encourage more people to come here, which I do understand. Granted, it hasn't really been nailed down yet, but the number that we've been seeing most often is 450 baht. There's still some, back and forth as to whether that's going to be a fee you pay at the airport, whether it's going to be included in your flight. Nobody really knows yet. So on the other side of that argument, myself included, I see this as a good thing as long as things are transparent, right? Just like any other time there's, money being collected by any government, we want to see that that money is going to a good place. And with the number of people that come to Thailand for tourism, they're right. There's a lot of places that are under a lot of stress just because the number of people that go there. And if this money can be used to help keep those places going, I see this as a good thing. A lot of people, that seems to be the angle they're most worried about is, hey, if this is going to be a thing, might it hurt tourism numbers? Maybe, but 450 baht is not crazy by any means. As long as it's going to where people want it to go, I could see it being a good thing, which I tend to agree with. Another aspect of it is a lot of people talking about, oh, it's just a fee to travel, blah, blah, blah. Especially if you're coming here on the visa exempt program, it's free, which in comparison to a lot of countries, even if you're doing visa on arrival, whatever, there's going to be some type of fee for that. It's usually around $20, which is what 450 baht is. So I don't necessarily think this is going to be turning a whole lot of people away. I don't see people that were already planning on coming to Thailand, already had money set aside, already bought flights. I don't see them looking at a, $20 fee on top of that and saying, oh, well, never mind. We're not going there. We're going to take our $20 and we're going to go somewhere else. If you disagree, please let us know down in the comments why. Also, if you think this would be a good thing, if you have some concerns, I am fairly confident that this is going to go through. Granted, things might change. When it does, the number might change or how they're going to collect it or where they're going to distribute it. Of course, right now we don't know, but there are a lot of things being done to try to counteract that, bit of a dip or plateau in tourist income. So I see this going through pretty easily in all reality. Let us know what you think about it down in the comments. If you did make it this far in the video, thank you so much for hanging out. That is just a little taste of what's going on in Thailand right now. If you would like to stay updated, maybe you don't have the time to sit down for these videos. If you want to just be able to read and go, make sure you go follow us over on Instagram or Facebook. Those are linked up there. We just post little quick snippets there, easier to get through. And of course, any support over there is greatly appreciated. Thank you so much for keeping up with the videos. Like we said in the beginning, if there's anything you would like to see covered or any stories you feel like need to be touched on, feel free to drop those in the comments or shoot us an Instagram DM. I hope you have a great rest of your day. We'll see you later.